Let's say China.
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 China. China. China.
There are no storm movers, and you can actually see Russia from land here in Alaska.
Go over to China.
I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
Trump statement, tweeting out insults to Angela Merkel. What's he doing?
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your host.
Yes. Hello, and welcome. I am James Andrews, and you are listening to So This Happened, the only news you need if your television set is stuck on one channel, and that one channel is Fox News. It is Wednesday, the 24th of January, 2018, and today, Elton John announced his final world tour. Now, most people, when they say a final world tour, they're sort of saying, yeah, I'm going to do a few dates and that's it, then I'm going to retire. No, not Elton John. No, this man is doing 300 dates, which are going to span a 3-year period, which is, well, he's got more stamina than I do. Anyway, after 3 years and 300 concerts, he'll be retiring to spend more time with his husband and his children and sort of just become a family man. And, well, at his age, yeah, he probably deserves it. So Elton, we'll see you on the road, mate. And also today, a cat becomes very, very wealthy. Grumpy Cat, the cat made famous by all the memes of the cat that looks, well, he looks grumpy, doesn't he? Anyway, today he won a $710,000 lawsuit in a copyright case in a California federal court. The Grumpy Cat sued owners of the US coffee company Grenade for using the cat's image over and over again with a drink that they dubbed the Grumpachino, with a photograph of the Grumpy Cat on there. I'm not entirely sure what a cat is going to spend $710,000 on. That's a lot of tuna fish. And in other animal news, well, shark actually. It's shark news, so it's a fish news, right? Sharks are fishes, not animals. But anyway, in other fish news, sharks are apparently doing very well. A number of shark conservation groups have said that their donations have significantly increased since last week when Stormy Daniels, the porn star that shagged the president, admitted that Donald Trump hated sharks. Well, looks like that's a good thing for sharks. So if you need to make money for your charity, my advice is get the president to say that he absolutely fucking hates you. I despise them. I hate them. Now, I don't know if this will work for sort of childhood leukemia, because then you'd have to have the president sort of tweet, I hate those little bald bastards. I hate them so much. They get everything. I hate them. Moochers, bastards, all of them. He may not, well, I say he may not do that. He may do that, actually. This is Donald Trump we're talking about. But anyway, so the moral here is, if you want your charity to get some big donations, get the president to say that he hates you. It works every time. Just ask the sharks. Now, as I was browsing through the internet today, looking for things to talk about, a headline stuck out to me, and it says, there's a 50% chance I've a fatal disease. Do I find out? The headline intrigued me because, well, I'll tell you why it intrigued me in a minute. The story is about a lady called Jackie Harrison, and she has a 50-50 chance that she has a disease that also killed her mother and her grandmother, and that there is a test now that she could take to find out whether or not she has a disease, and she's sort of trying to determine whether she wants to know or not. Well, that's an interesting question, but the headline there's a 50% chance I have a fatal disease. Well, isn't that all of us? I mean, that's sort of when the weatherman says, there's a 50% chance of rain today. Well, yeah, great. So if it rains, I was right. If it doesn't rain, I was right. Like I said, 50%. So surely all of us sort of have a 50% chance of having a fatal disease. You sort of say that, you're safe, aren't you? Next week, if I get a brain tumour, well, I was right. Yeah, 50% chance of that. If I don't, I say, great, yeah, well, I was right anyway, because I 50% chance, wasn't it? It's sort of half, isn't it? I mean, I don't know. I don't think I'd want to find out, because then 100%. If you don't, that's great. But if 100% you have a disease that's going to kill you, then it's a bit, well, shit. Shit. I think it's better not to know. I don't know. What do you think? I don't think I would want to know. But yeah, I have a 50% chance that I may die of a fatal disease, folks. Sorry to say that. And now on to something that has been confusing me for a very long time. Evangelicals. Yeah. In general, they confuse me, but specifically, their continued defense of Donald Trump in light of all these sexual misconduct allegations that have come out, that boggles my mind. Surely, as a, Christian evangelical, affairs, isn't that one of the 10 Commandments? The adultery thing, right? It's in there. I think it's in there. There's don't murder. Don't fuck your brother's wife. That's one of them. Not the exact words, but that's the gist of it, isn't it? But still, these evangelicals continue to defend Donald Trump. Now, last night, the Reverend Frankin Graham, and I use Reverend fairly loosely there, he was on CNN, and he gave, I think, perhaps one of the weakest defenses of Donald Trump I've ever heard. Don Lemon asked him, what is the difference between, Donald Trump having all these affairs and other presidents? Bill Clinton, you guys jumped on him for the whole blowjob in the Oval Office thing. How is President Trump different? Why is he different? And this is the really weak excuse that Graham gave.
I think that's a very good question, Don, and I appreciate that. The difference is what happened with Bill Clinton. He did this while he was in office, and that's the difference. And what Kennedy did, the affairs he had was while he was in office. The affairs that Johnson had while he was in office. These alleged affairs, they're alleged with Trump, didn't happen while he's in office. This happened 11, 12, 13, 14 years ago. And so I think that there's a big difference. And not that we give anybody a pass, but we have to look at the timeline. And that was before he was in office. And I think the president has changed quite a bit in the last 11 years. At least I have seen that.
Well, let's say that
and
because
I think there's a maturing of the president.
Okay, have you read his Twitter account? Because listen, a number of different things here. What he admitted to was the Access Hollywood tape, right? That happened. It came out. You were already supporting him when that came out. You didn't take your support away.
But I didn't support that, Don.
Okay.
I didn't support that.
But you're saying in one voice that you didn't support that, but you're still supporting him. And then also the payout to the porn star, that was in 2016. That wasn't 11 years ago. That's now. It threatened nuclear war with North Korea.
The story came out.
He calls for a ban on religions entering the country. That's now. He has 15 accusers. Some of them said it was shorter than a long time ago, as you said. He started a fight with the Gold Star family. He started a fight with Gold Star widows. He fights with people on Twitter. He uses the word S-hole about certain countries. That's all in the current timing now. That's not from years ago. So that argument that he has changed or he has somehow evolved, that just doesn't stand. Most people don't see that.
Well, no, but the affairs that Clinton had were while he was in the Oval Office. Johnson, Kennedy, the same thing.
There are more
this
to a
has not
person's
happened
characters than
with Trump.
affair. You're saying that the only thing that matters is an affair?
No, that's what you spend a lot of time, Don, on the media, is focusing on this.
Okay, so there's the Reverend Graham, and I played a little bit more of that than I was originally going to, but the way Don Lemon came back at him was great, and I loved Graham there. He was going, but Clinton, he was in the office, but the dress, the blue dress, the jizz on the dress, the man, he can't answer it, because the thing is, you cannot defend Donald Trump. So you can say all you want, I support Donald Trump, but when pushed on the issues, you can't. You come out like a stuttering fool, like Clinton, the dress, the jizz on the dress, Clinton, oh fucking Clinton, and the dress, the blue fucking dress, and the jizz, and oh god damn it. And that really is it. That's it, isn't it? Because you cannot defend him. He is literally impossible to defend, but they will continue to try and do it. I don't know why. I really don't know why. It's almost to the point where it's just funny, isn't it? Well, it's not that funny, but it is funny. And now, onto something which I'm afraid is a little bit... it's a little bit depressing, so I apologise for that, but I think this is something which is important to acknowledge. Donald Trump yesterday imposed a 30% tariff on solar panels. What this does, according to experts, is that it virtually kills the solar industry. Some facts about solar power. It employs more people than coal and oil combined. Nearly 260,000 Americans work in the solar energy industry. Now, with this 30% tariff on the solar panels, it is estimated that roughly 23,000 Americans will lose their job this year. And this is looking at statistics that there are more than 9,000 companies in every single US state that install and manufacture solar panels. Now, the price on solar panels has dropped significantly, over 70% since 2010. And this has allowed the industry to open up into many new markets because it's becoming so much more affordable. In 2016, 39% of all energy was solar powered. It topped all the other technologies for the first time in history. And finally, US solar companies were becoming competitive with those around the world. And the people that solar companies were employing were not these egghead noodles that design all that stuff. No, the majority of the people that work for solar panel companies were the people that Trump has been championing for so long. It's the blue-collar workers. The people that he said, I'm going to bring jobs back to you. Well, the fact is, solar industry was employing lots and lots and lots of them in a technology that would be sustainable. Not like coal or oil, which is a dying industry. Unfortunately, any way you look at it, it's a dying industry. Solar is right on the cutting edge. It is estimated that in 2016, 1 in every 50 brand new jobs that were created by the solar panel industry. So this is an absolutely massive industry that Trump not only has forgotten, because he clearly hasn't forgotten them, but he's punishing them. Even the EPA, which we now know is controlled by a complete moron that doesn't understand the environment or protection, or probably the word agency, come to think of it, they repealed the Clean Power Plan. And that was the nation's only federal program which was designed to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. One of the big steps for that was solar power. But not only did they get rid of the Green Energy Act, but they also came up with a plan to bail out coal and nuclear power plants. Now, that plan, which was designed by Donald Trump and Bob Murray, who is a coal baron, that would apparently add $10.8 billion to rates across the United States. So if Donald Trump is truly for bringing jobs back to America, then why has he done this? The only thing I can think of is that it's sort of his continued hatred of anything that Barack Obama did. And that might sound a bit simplistic to you, but if you look at what's going on, That just seems to make sense. Here we have an industry, the solar panel industry, which is growing significantly every single year. Then you have an industry like coal, which is decreasing every single year. What does Donald Trump do in the entire administration? They just flip it around completely, give all the money to coal, which is the dying industry, and take all the money away from solar panels, which is the future industry. So, the question is, does Donald Trump really want to #MAGA? Or does he just want to reward his friends in the coal industry? Well, I think the answer is fairly simple to that, and I'll let you come up with your own answer. Anyway, listen, we are out of time for the day, unfortunately. It's been a great conversation, as always. I've enjoyed it enormously. Anyway, listen, we can always continue this conversation or others on Twitter or Facebook, and please don't forget to subscribe and like the podcast. And if you want to leave a nice little review on iTunes, that would be spectacular. It helps out with the ratings, so more and more people can listen to So This Happened. If you're going to say something nasty, though, please don't, because I'm very delicate. You may have noticed this. I'm a delicate individual, and all right, bollocks. Anyway, listen, have a great night, and we will do this all over again on Friday. I can't wait. Have a great Thursday. Take care, everyone. Goodbye.
Just like you, who can make me feel